Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp. Good morning.
I'm about to have some salmon for breakfast.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're
Is that
not.
what it is?
Or should I call it
Yeah.
salmon? Salmon? That's
Salmon.
what Jonathan
Yeah.
Abrams
Yeah,
said.
no,
We thought that was pretty funny on the
You're not
show.
good for you, don't Skip.
No.
This right here, too much fat.
Really?
Yeah.
I think so. I eat
Yeah.
salmon all the time.
Yeah,
What does
okay,
that
you
even
wouldn't
mean?
salmon.
I think it looks good.
Thank you, Jenny.
It's bold.
I
but
think it looks-
it's bold.
See, there you go. Why you just can't say, Shannon, you look nice today? That was
Shannon, you look nice
Too late,
today.
too late. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Shannon, you look nice
Thank
today.
you.
Let's start the show.
I missed the necklace, Skip. That was a good look on Friday. We have a lot to get to on the show. Big Ben reflects where it all went wrong with AB and how impressive was Kyler Murray in his third preseason outing. But we are going to start with the big news. Andrew Luck. He shocked the sports world on Saturday, announcing his retirement from the NFL at just 29 years old. Luck has been out this preseason with a mysterious lower leg injury that has most recently been called an ankle injury. During the Colts' third preseason game, with Andrew Luck on the sideline, news broke that the 29-year-old QB would be permanently stepping away from football, citing constant injuries as the reason for losing his joy for the game. Luck addressed reporters after the game. Take a listen.
This is not an easy decision. Honestly, it's the hardest decision of my life. But it is the right decision for me. For the last 4 years or so, I've been in this cycle of injury, pain, rehab, injury, pain, rehab. And it's been unceasing and relenting. And after 2016, where I played in pain and was unable to regularly practice, I made a vow to myself that I would not go down that path again. I find myself in a similar situation, and the only way forward for me is to remove myself from football in this cycle that I've been in.
All right, Shannon, how surprised were you by Andrew Luck's sudden retirement?
Like everyone, Skip, I was very surprised. You know, we kept hearing about he had a calf injury in April, and here we are August, and he was still unable to practice. Never, I don't think anyone thought it would get to this point. But watching him in the press conference, Skip, he looked like a broken man. He said something very, very interesting. He said after the last 4 years in which it was injury, surgery, rehab, injury, surgery, rehab, it had robbed him of his joy to play the game. Skip, when you hear Tom Brady talk about his 20 years, what does he say? He still enjoys playing the game. And once that's been taken away, I don't really know what is there is to play. Now, Andrew Luck could have maybe fooled some people and not practice and do what he did, like he said in 2016. But he said doing that, he'd have been an average quarterback, and that is something that he could not tolerate. I commend him. Skip, is tough. No one really knows what it's like unless you've been there before. And I dealt with something. I had ankle, Skip. It was my ankle, knee, shoot the ankle up, couldn't practice, just shoot it up every single week and play the game. Then you have off-season surgery. Then the first game of the next season, guess what, Skip? It's the ankle again. And then you're hobbling on your ankle, you hurt your right knee. So it's ankle surgery and knee surgery in the off-season. And I'm like, man, when is this thing going to end? Then I fracture my eye socket. I'm like, man, I got the worst luck possible.
Okay.
Can you imagine him, Skip? You see, he got injured. And a lot of this I laid solely at the feet of the Indianapolis Colts and Ryan Grigson because they didn't do him any favors, Skip. Instead of getting him offensive linemen to protect him, they got him skill position players because they wanted this thing to pick up right where Peyton Manning left off when he had Reggie Wayne, when he had Dallas Clark, Marvin Harrison, Edgerrin James, and then he had Jay Ajayi. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Joseph Ajayi.
Joseph
Ajayi.
Yeah.
Skip, and they wanted that, and so they didn't have linemen to protect him. And in the process, Andrew's like, I don't have protection. I've got to play some hero ball. Skip, he thought he could run over linebackers. He thought he could run through defensive linemen. But a lot of that was because of the Colts didn't protect him.
Yep.
And that game in which he played against the Broncos, Skip, I've never seen a quarterback take so much punishment and still finish the game. And not only finish, he won the game. But it came at a heavy price. That was the beginning of the end of Andrew Luck as far as his health, Skip, because you can't take that kind of punishment. Now, this new guy, they come in and they get him some protection. Left guard, Quentin Nelson. The center's a first-round draft pick. The left tackle's a first-round draft pick. The right tackle's a second-round draft pick. They got the sense, but the damage had already been done, Skip. And then he missed the entire season with shoulder surgery. After playing with the shoulders banged up all year long, he said, I'm not doing this anymore. Skip, it robbed him. The injuries robbed him of his joy to play the game. And he says, you know what, I couldn't. And I think the doctors probably told him, Andrew, you're still a couple of months away. And he didn't want to go into the season, Skip, rehabbing, standing on the sideline, lying, when you're going to be back, I'm close, knowing he's still some time away. So I just believe that at this point, he felt there's no other way. He said, there's no way forward other than to step away. I was surprised like a lot of people was, and I just want whatever's best for Andrew Luck. Hopefully he can heal up, and maybe we'll have another discussion this time next year.
So let me get this straight. As you just pointed out, Tom Brady has turned 42 years of age. He is leaping out of bed every morning, spilling over with joy to play yet another football season, and he has vowed to play until he's 45. And the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp across from me every day keeps saying, yeah, you can play till 45 because the game is rigged for the quarterback, to protect the quarterback, right?
Yes.
And we just saw a young man retire at almost 30, but he's still 29 years of age.
Yes.
Why is that? Maybe it's too soon for me to be harshly objective, but I'm about to be. So, my reaction was I was not shocked by this because clearly Andrew Luck in his first 3 seasons in this league took an unholy amount of punishment. I've never seen anything quite like the punishment he took. And he got hurt, and he pretty much stayed hurt, though last year was an aberration because it was a pretty clean year for him. Again, he didn't play his best when they got to the game at Kansas City, but they still had a very good year, and it was a bounce-back year for him to the point that he was chosen the Comeback Player of the Year.
That is correct.
Now he has a chance to be a double Comeback Player of the Year. Chad Pennington once did that, but if he did come back, he could do it again, probably. So my point was, I still don't know if we know the truth about what this latest mysterious injury is. It's got to be way worse than what they are telling us because it started out as a calf injury.
In April.
In April, and then suddenly it moved to some kind of a bone issue. I don't know what that was. And then it was an ankle.
High ankle sprain.
High ankle sprain, right? And to quote Bruce Arians, who knows Andrew very well because he coached him, he said yesterday, something has got to be wrong somewhere with this picture. That there's something deeper going on.
Oh, I totally
this
believe
mystery
that.
injury because it was already clear. You just said he might miss a couple of months.
Yes.
Well, he was clearly going to miss the start of the real season, and it seemed to be no end in sight with what was first a calf injury.
Right.
Okay. Is it career-threatening, whatever's going on with his leg? Heaven forbid, I'm knocking on wood. Is it life-threatening? I don't know, because it's coming across like it was really, really serious and bad.
Right.
Much worse than we were led to believe, correct? So the point is that this was not shocking to me just because of the injury factor. So a lot of people leap to the conclusion that this was the most stunning retirement in the history of sports. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me?
Did Jim Brown not retire?
Okay, Jim Brown retired at age 29, and to my knowledge, he was, you know, no more than Nixon Nax, but he was perfectly healthy.
He led the league in rushing and touchdowns this last year.
Okay, Barry Sanders retired at age 30, and he was pretty much perfectly healthy as far as I knew. We could go to Calvin Johnson, who was still, he had issues with the team, as did Barry, but health was, he'd had his problems, but I don't think health was the issue, right?
Still, Aaron Hernandez murdered a man after receiving a $40 million contract. Is that not shocking?
Okay.
I mean, they talk about, no, I'm just saying, they said the most shocking thing that in the NFL,
but it's a retirement.
Yeah, well, I'm saying Jim Brown, and for me, Jim Brown and Barry is more shocking than this.
Okay, and Michael Jordan was, what was he, 29?
Yes.
So you know, his first retirement. We can go on and on about what precipitated that, but he was completely 100% healthy.
Yeah.
So there's no health issue.
Right.
And then we've seen Tiger Woods fight his way back, fight through this and that and this and that, even more injured maybe than Andrew Luck has been injured. But Tiger Woods was fighting back because he had already achieved all-time greatness.
Yes.
Okay, I'm here to say it once again. I wasn't the biggest Andrew Luck fan before he was drafted.
Yes.
My issues were that at Stanford, he was kind of the coach's pet type. He was the coach's dream, where he wanted every play to be the greatest play ever. So he held the ball and he held the ball.